What's up, Dice Crew? Keeping it a Benji, and I'm getting back with y'all. Now look, shout out to the Dice Crew. Y'all keep it a Benji for me in the comments. I'm gonna keep it a Benji for y'all during my reaction. And shout out to the sponsors. Y'all are down bullies. I'm gonna have a link in the description so y'all can tune in with them. Now what we got going on now is ADAM22 with the exclusive explaining on why he's removing majority of the shows on the No Jumper platform. But I ain't gonna hold y'all too much longer. Let's tune in. Let's rock.
Okay, so I have a pretty huge announcement, and I'm doing it on Snapchat. So anybody who's thinking about ripping this and putting it on any other platform, don't even think about it. Anyway, Snapchat exclusive. I'm making some very big changes in terms of No Jumper. As of today, or as of tomorrow, the news, No Jumper news, it's over. The Monday.
You know, I ain't gonna lie, like, it was a point to where, like, you know, I guess you could say, like, back when T-Rail and ADAM used to be over there, but I used to tune into that news, like, you know, as much as I can, you know what I mean? Like, I haven't really been, like, just so tuned in with the No Jumper news. Like, I might catch it here and there, some little titles or something come across the feed, and then I tune in, but for the most part, like, at one point, I used to be, like, really, and intrigued on trying to see what's going on with the No Jumper news.
The Monday, the Wednesday show, and the Thursday show also are over. I've decided that I really want to focus No Jumper. So I will be continuing Tuesday show with Lush and Brick Baby. I will continue to do as many interviews as possible. I'm going to have other people on the platform continuing to do interviews. Everybody from, Almighty, Sharp, Break. I just talked to all these guys, Flacco. We're still going to work together on doing interviews and, doing like repeat guest type interviews where I, have.
And this is not a shot at none of those individuals. I'm sure everybody kind of got got some type of motion going on. Almighty Suspect, Sharp, Poetic Flacco, and Break Baby, but Poetic Flacco, he definitely got he's booming and got heavy motion with his platform. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to say being on No Jumper won't continue to help him, you know what I mean? Because that's a much larger platform. But the platform he got and what he had created for himself, Flacco, his channel do numbers.
Go on multiple times to talk about different things that are going on in the news, everything like that. But this decision has really been brought on primarily, I guess, as a business decision.
And that just got me thinking a little bit too. Like if you pay attention, for the last some months now, you've been seeing Sharp trying to establish his platform. Brick Baby been trying to establish his platform. I haven't been seeing anything like that with Almighty Suspect. But y'all let me know, Dice Crew, did they feel like this was gonna come, or did Adam give them pretty much some warnings or some hints a while ago, and that's why Sharp and Brick Baby tried to create their own platforms and get it booming?
Primarily, I guess, as a business decision, and I say I've been talking to my business manager a lot over the course of the past few weeks, taking a real deep dive into how the channel is doing, how much content we're creating, and taking a look at what the true cost of creating stuff like the news is, and have basically just come to the conclusion that it makes more sense for No Jumper to produce less content and be a little bit more focused with a smaller team, a smaller number of employees, etc., and to just be a little bit more focused. I look at a lot of my peers. I look at Vlad. Obviously, Vlad has kind of always been the OG as far as I'm concerned in this whole YouTube content space.
I'm glad he said Vlad, because that was kind of crossed in my mind. I was he kind of seemed like he's trying to pull some pages out of Vlad book, which I do get it, I guess, Adam probably have felt like he done maximized and used those type of ways of going about things as much as he can accomplish already. So it's time to try some other platforms, and I think he's getting older, and I think he's trying to be able to fall in a certain type of conversation. You know what I mean? Like, I know he's succeeding. The whole No Jumper platform. Shout out to everybody that helped build it, past and present. But I feel like he's trying to put his platform in a different conversation. But that's just me just thinking about it. You know what I mean? Could be wrong, could be right. Y'all let me know what y'all think, Dice Crew.
And when I look at Vlad, I think that he kind of does it the smartest way possible, which is like if he wants to have a conversation with somebody, he just calls them in, pays them their rate, and then they do the conversation.
Which is also kind of crazy because I feel like at one point, you know, not Adam, but Vlad took some pages out of Adam's book. Like, you know, he had started creating other podcasts with other individuals. For some reason, I just can't think of all their names, but I want to say he had tried, you know, like Tony Yayo. Who else, man? I want to say it was a dude named Sagan. I don't know why I just can't get all their names off the back right now, but I think he tried to do like 2 or 3 different podcasts and put that under his channel too. So I feel like he had to get that page out of ADAM22 book because we wasn't seeing no platform doing that until we seen No Jumper doing that. You know what I mean? Everybody was like sticking to their own interviews and pretty much speaking whenever they chose to speak. But it wasn't like putting a gang of other not TV, but other shows or podcast shows or whatever under their channel. So, you know, I think we got to give that whole creativity plan right there from to ADAM22.
He doesn't really have like consistent they do the conversation. He doesn't really have like consistent co-hosts. Obviously, I'm still gonna have consistent co-hosts. I'm still gonna do the Tuesday show with Brick and Lush because I still enjoy, you know, building that camaraderie and everything like that. But as far as like just to pump out so much content and doing 2 hours of the news every day and 2 hours every night, you know, even like someone like Brick, I just had the conversation with Brick about the No Statement show on Wednesday, and like he totally gets it. And if anything, he was kind of like, bro, I didn't really feel like I was ready to do my own podcast in the first place. I just took it on because you suggested it, you believed in me, and you know, like honestly, all these guys, from Almighty to Flacco.
I ain't gonna lie, I think I tune in more with Brick Baby on his own channel more than I tune in with him on No Statements. I watch him on some interviews and the No Jumper show and stuff, maybe here and now, the news, but the whole No Statements, I probably ain't even watched that since DW Flame got off of it.
Sharp to Brick, guys, from Almighty to Flacco to Sharp to Brick, I've seen all these guys grow a shitload as the years have gone by doing content on the channel. And like, you know, somebody like Almighty, I was just gassing him up. I'll say it here too because I believe it was just that I've seen him grow a lot as an interviewer. Okay, I got cut off there. Anyway, I was just saying all about Almighty is that, you know, he's somebody who I've seen grow a shitload as an interviewer and content creator, and he has like an amazing ear / just like A&R mindset for new talent. You know, he's paying attention on a level that I really look up to, and I need people around me like him and Remo, etc., to like really help keep me tapped in with going on in the culture and everything like that. So this has nothing to do with.
And you know what? The moment that I think at this moment why I brought up D.
Me being, you know, against any of the hosts on the channel. If anything, I just had the conversation with all of them, and they all took it in stride and understood where I was coming from and realized that, you know, it's just a straight business decision. So this is a big development. You know, I look at like a lot of people, my peers in the space, and I look at myself and I'm like, damn, I spent the last however many years trying to really build No Jumper up as like a network where we could be producing a huge amount of content. And there's over the last couple of weeks from just having these conversations, I just realized this isn't really what I want to spend the next 10 years of my life doing in terms of trying to create another At the End of the Day or another Disconnected, if that counts, or whatever. You know, it's like all that shit is dope. And it definitely has helped, you know, get us more views. But the truth is that the soap opera.
You know what? I feel like he probably got a hard way of delivering it, but I think in so many ways, ADAM22 just gave AD and them, House Phone and them, they shows, T Real and them, they flowers for how they shows was pretty much doing decent when they was on the platform.
That comes with doing no jumper news and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't benefit us that much. But like getting a bunch of clips up in the Reddit shit doesn't really like do that much for us as a business. And really, when I look at my life as a 40-year-old man, it's like I want to primarily be putting my time into things that are going to, be more productive. Even like this right here, talking on Snapchat. Like I hate to break it to you, but sometimes when I look at how much I made on Snapchat for the day, I'm like, why is YouTube my focal point? Why am I looking at my YouTube analytics multiple times a day when I got the Snapchat shit going absolutely fucking crazy? I don't know. There's a lot of things I want to do in my life. And it's like if I am putting out a handful of podcasts per week and then doing the Jumper Show once per week, having some of these other guys do interviews on my behalf, like that's good enough for me. I don't need to be producing 5 hours of content per week in order to view No Jumper as a success. So, I mean, I know a lot of people are going to probably try to frame this as me giving up or me being, totally fed up with some of the hoes or some bullshit like that. That's not really the case. It's just a case of me wanting to sort of reprioritize and take a step back from producing like a huge amount of content. So, yeah, hopefully you guys get it. Hopefully people won't go too crazy with spinning like weird narratives and implying that I said things in this. Okay, keep getting cut off. There's like no way in Snapchat to tell when you're gonna get cut off unless you want to like have a pocket watch or some shit. Anyway, I just. I know people are going to run with all kinds of narratives and be like, Adam fired the whole staff. Adam, is ending all of the No Jumper content, whatever. That's not the case at all.
And I ain't gonna lie, I think we all can pick up something from that whole just the energy that ADAM22 is delivering or just what he's embracing about himself, willing to try to learn Snapchat. You got people out here that's 21, 25, 30, 35 acting like, you know what, I ain't gonna give no energy or no time into trying to learn these new ways of trying to find no revenue. And for him to just, he trying to boom his whole Snapchat channel, that I feel like, we can learn from that. Don't never just sell yourself short or just get lazy or just put a cap on your own limit. What can I say? Limits. You know what I mean? I just find that kind of motivational. I hope I said that right.
This is just me kind of doing what's right for myself in terms of my own peace of mind, as well as my own, ideas of what I want to be doing with the rest of my life. And I look at somebody who's my peer, like a Sean Cotton. We don't need to make it about Vlad every time, but I look at Sean Cotton and Say Cheese. Say Cheese, very popular channel, popular business.
Yeah, I feel like Say Cheese definitely has one of those good formulas itself.
If y'all see anybody who knows about what's going on in rap, they'll tell you Say Cheese is up there near the top of the pile in terms of just creating content that shifts the culture and everything. But, I look at his channel and I'm like, this motherfucker Sean putting out one podcast a week, maybe two. Sometimes he'll put out podcasts every 2 weeks, whatever, which is, that's dope. You don't need to put out a gigantic amount of content in order to be successful, right? So I think for me, from a business perspective, it just makes sense to make a little bit less content and focus on other areas of the business that are a little bit more profitable, that might have longer legs and everything like that. To me, the business model of just taking a bunch of homies and putting them on camera together and just assuming that the fans are going to want to watch, I don't know. It might have made a little bit more sense mid-pandemic. It might have made a little bit more sense 5 years ago, but it doesn't make that much sense now. And I think you see that with all sides of the media landscape where Complex did Everyday Struggle. It didn't really work out. They ran into a whole bunch of problems that we don't need to get into, but the host asking for more money, the advertisers are hard to get, et cetera, et cetera. They switched from Joe Budden to a different co-host, didn't really work out the same way. These are all problems that I basically have dealt with too, where it's a hard business to run, and even if it was really cracking, it still would not be that profitable. It still would be a little bit tough to justify, even though obviously at a certain level it's good for the overall brand. But yeah, I know some people will have a hard time comprehending what I'm talking about and everything. It'll definitely be a letdown for some of the people who really thrive on documenting the messiness on the no.
I mean, all I can say with that is hopefully everybody been able to, like, win as much as they can and make the most out of being over there with no jumper, or whatever however you win off of no jumper in any kind of way. I hope people made the most of it, because now it's looking like no jumper was definitely giving out a lot of opportunities based upon he's putting all kind of different shades of color and people up there from different backgrounds, and he's trying out new people and all kind of different people that a lot of people just would have never got opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that on the way of me like bashing individuals. I'm saying in the form of, like, I really believe that that's a fact. Like, these other platforms wouldn't have put all these other individuals under their platform, even if they just gave them a tryout on the No Jumper News for 4 episodes. You know what I mean? How many people can say that on these other platforms?
But this makes sense for me as a businessman, and I feel kind of light and free as a result of making this decision. So you're still going to see me having relationships with all the different hosts on camera to one level or another, but definitely some big changes coming down. No more No Jumper News, if you somehow missed that. Monday show, Wednesday show, Thursday show, all moved or all shut down. Tuesday show. Anyway, I keep getting cut off, but you guys get the idea. Yeah. No Jumper News over. No Jumper has a channel, still going strong. You will certainly notice probably like a decrease in overall views, because that's another part of it, is that I've just kind of decided that I don't want to like spend my whole fucking life chasing after views. It's like I'm doing well for myself. I got a nice life for myself. I'm proud of the content that I've been creating and that other people have been creating on my channel. But as far as just like always trying to recapture the view counts that we were getting during the pandemic and shit, that's not really what I need to be doing with my life. I got a couple of dope businesses. I got a lot of good stuff. There's other things I want to put time into. For me, a great week on No Jumper is like, we do the Tuesday show. I drop maybe like 5-6 interviews that I've done. Drop probably like a handful of interviews that the other hosts have done. And we're good. I think that makes sense for me at this point in my life. So appreciate everybody who watched this. Appreciate all the No Jumper fans. Rogue Game forever. I love you guys. Content will be getting a little bit more focused.